Hello, my dear friends. I'm Stanislav Shamayev, a licensed business immigration and corporate attorney in Miami, Florida. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the difference between O-1A and O-1B visas. Who can apply for these visas and the criteria that need to be satisfied. At the end of this video, you'll be able to learn how to get a free evaluation of your case. Let's go. Alright guys, so why am I shooting this video today? Well, the answer is that I still see some confusion with you guys when you look at O-1 visa. Well, first of all, O-1 visa is the visa that requires an employer here in the US. And this is something that brings a lot of confusion to you guys because you think that the only option you have is that some company or some business here in the United States is gonna invite you to work, they're gonna help you with the paperwork and sign the petition for you, then it's gonna be good. And that sounds kind of daunting, right? That sounds hard to do. Well, and it does, and I think it is hard to do. But something that you are missing is that your own company, your fresh company, so let's say you just registered today, it can play a role of your employer. And it could be for O-1A, it could be for O-1B. You can register the fresh company, and that company, through you, can sign the petition, and you can work for your company and get paid for your company. Of course, you need to look for business and know what you're doing. That I cannot advise you for. That I cannot advise you with, but there is a way, okay? Definitely, if you're good at what you do, and you want to try yourself here in the States, this is one of the ways to go. Do not be scared if you do not have an employer in the US. You may start with your company, then you can find another company, we can refile for that company, so things should be good for you, as long as you satisfy the criteria. Number two, the difference between O-1A and O-1B is pretty big. Not only by the categories of those visas, because O-1B is for movies, television, and art. And everything else is O-1A, the sports, the education, the science, the business, and so on. If you belong to art, movies, production, television, influencing, maybe even marketing, you need to look at O-1B. If you belong to the other side or whatever, anything else, you belong to O-1A. That's not the only difference. The criteria are a little bit different. First of all, O-1B gets less criteria. It's 6 criteria for O-1B and 8 criteria for O-1A. And both of them, the minimum is 3 criteria to get approval. It seems that O-1B gives you less chances. That's not true. It may sound like that, but there's always an alternative criterion where we can add anything else on top of whatever being asked. Don't be discouraged to go for O-1B if you think that, oh, there's less chance. No, not so fast. O-1A is 8 criteria. Yes, it's more. They kind of cross each other. So let's say a critical role in the event. Okay, that's for O-1B. And there's a critical or essential role in a distinguished organization in O-1A. So kind of the same, okay, there's press about you, O-1B and O-1A, the commercial success, your salary here and there. There's more to this for O-1A. What I think is actually the biggest difference between these two, that 2 criteria for O-1B has the components of the past and the future. So your critical or essential role in the events or in organization has to have the past and the future. So the past is okay, well, so I've done this in the past. I played a role in this TV show, or I was a producer, or I was a director, or I was a CEO of this fashion company. But what about the future? Well, the future, we need to show kind of what we're gonna be doing here in the US and what kind of companies or brands we will be working with, what kind of festivals or events we will be taking part in. That kind of pushes you to build up the agenda, the itinerary for your future action in the US. All right, so-called action plan. Let's put it this way. That doesn't O-1A doesn't have that. There is no component of future and the past in the criteria. There's only one, the salary. Both O-1A and O-1B, it has components of future or the past. Not and the past, but or. So either you made good dollar in the past, or you're going to be doing this in the future, and we can prove it by the future contracts. Okay, the contracts for the future, let's put it this way. Those are the biggest differences. Other than that, they're very similar. You need to have a recognition in your field, you need to have achievements, you need to have recommendation letters. And by the way, O-1B is the only visa that has the recommendation letters as one of the criteria, because O-1A, EB-1A, EB-2, and IW, they don't have it. Yes, we still submit like 15 recommendation letter for each, but it's not the criterion. It's just a part of the petition. All right. O-1B, it's one of the 6. So that makes things easier, right? So if you have recommendations, you have press about you, you make good money, maybe you play the role in some events or good companies, you will be good. You will have success with this visa. Also, both of these visas, they have the so-called peer review letter, or sometimes it's called no objection letter. This is a letter from a labor union or from an expert in the field in the States who's going to say that, yes, you are a talented person, or say, hey, we just don't make any conclusions, but we have no objection of this person working in the US. Why they're doing this? So they presume that this letter protects the US employees. Like, let's say that you're not going to take or steal an American employee's spot. That's like a defensive mechanism. I don't believe in it. I think this is complete BS, put it mildly. I think this is just, anybody can get those letters. So whatever, if they want it, we'll send it to them. But we make the main focus on your recognition and your achievement. Both O-1A and O-1B are maximum for 3 years. They both could be extended for 1 year indefinitely. So if 3 years passed, you can add 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year indefinitely. Or you can change your employer, and with a new employer, you will get the new 3-year period for your visa. And this is multiple entrance visa, so you can travel back and forth. And it's great. You can bring your family, you can bring your spouse, you can bring your kids under 21 years old who are not married, and your kids will be able to go to American school for free. The only thing that's, I think, the biggest negative factor for these visas is that your spouse will get O3 visa and she or he will not be able to work. So you need to consider this factor closely, because if it's not a big deal for you, then it's not a problem. If it's a big deal, then we need to look for the opportunities for other visas for your spouse to be able to work in the States, or we need to consider the immigrant visas. Okay, the green cards. If you get a green card, everybody else in your family get a green card, and everybody else is your spouse and your kids under 21 years old. If you think that you qualify for O1 visa, for O-1A or O-1B visa, and let me give you examples of our recent approvals, international approvals. They are businessmen from Russia, the innovator from Cameroon, the marketing person from Brazil, and the violin player from Kazakhstan. Just give you a few categories so you could see that we work in different categories: business, science, art, education. Okay, so it doesn't really matter for me which category you belong. What does matter for me is your recognition and your achievements. And if you want to learn if you can qualify for one of those visas, you should fill out a questionnaire that I prepared for you. I call it a free evaluation. Go down below this video in the description and find the link that's going to say free evaluation O1 visa. Fill it out, and I will get back to you within 48 hours, and I will let you know which criteria you're satisfied, which you will need to work for, which programs are good for you. And if I see the potential, I will invite you to the complex immigration planning where I will create a written strategy, a winning written strategy for your case, and you will receive it after we're done with this service. Also, don't forget to comment and ask questions below this video, smash the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, to my TikTok, to my Instagram, so you could get access to all the content that I post on those platforms. I'm Stanislav Shamaev, a lawyer of the future. Your future begins here. Good luck.